All right, well, let's get things rolling here. We'll start nice and tall in a long spine, seated. We'll inhale and reach those arms all the way up. And exhale, opening, just letting the arms float down, the shoulders softening. We'll try that again. Inhale, floating and reaching up. And exhale, opening. We'll pause here, feeling that reach and that stretch through the arms, taking our side bend. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pouring up and over, feeling that oppositional reach with the sitting bone into the floor, the length out through the fingertips. Hollow the abdominals and contract, feeling that diagonal stretch across the back. Take an extra breath there. We'll come back into our sideways position. Inhale and exhale, gather, bring yourself back up. We'll try that on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bending, reaching up and over. Yummy, yummy stretch. And then pull the abs in, reach up and over the waistline, feeling that reach all the way into the lower back. Good, and then coming back to our sideways position, inhale. And exhale, coming back up. Just taking some shoulder rolls here. Rolling the shoulders up and back and away. And again, up and around and up and around and up and around. We'll reach those arms out. Cross one arm over and we're just going to press this elbow across to give ourselves a little tricep stretch there. Good. And then perhaps take that wrist, stretch the arms up. And if it feels comfortable, you can bend that arm and maybe take a little stretch behind the head, opening that shoulder blade. And then we'll release that and do the same thing other side, draping one arm across like a scarf, and then pressing the elbow across, stretching the back of the shoulder, triceps. Good. And then taking a hold of that wrist, reaching up. And then maybe bending that arm if it feels comfortable to you, pulling back behind yourself. Good. And then release that. I've got another couple shoulder rolls, just to let that release. And let's do our reach into our hug. So stretching the arms nice and wide, crossing, giving yourself a hug, one arm on top of the other, maybe wrapping and grabbing a hold of the sides of the shoulders. Contract and fold over your sternum and just give yourself that hug and contraction forward. Going some stretch across the mid-back. And then rolling yourself back up. Open those arms, serve the palms up, lift your heart. And let's do that with the other arm on top. Crossing, giving yourself a nice hug. And then folding and bowing forward, contract, feeling like you're widening, pulling those shoulder blades across or apart from each other. Good. And then coming back up one more time, opening and reaching, lifting, and then just let that settle and relax. So let's bring our legs around to the side and we'll do our little spine contractions here. So sitting nice and tall, holding onto your shins or behind your thighs. Scoop out the low belly, contract and round. Make that little suspension bridge, holding onto your legs. Scooping the abs in deeply. Again, feeling some stretch across the shoulders. Good. From here, rocking forward, stacking the pelvis again. Let those shoulders drift downward away from the ears. Lift your heart, open the chest, keep the back of the neck long. And then bring it back to center. We'll try that again. Scoop it out, rounding through the low back. Scooping the abs inward. Sending those breaths down into those tight spots. And then folding over, rocking the pelvis back to sit tall. Shoulders drifting away, opening the chest. Taking that little extension. Coming back to center now, then let go with the arms and slowly paint your spine down the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Curling that tail under, rolling through the low back, through the mid back, and releasing here. Go ahead and place the soles of the feet together and allow your knees to just open out to the sides. And we'll just take a few deep breaths here, just letting the weight of the knees help to open up the hips. Feel some of that release. Relaxing through your upper back. Feel those ribs just nestling into the floor, into your mat. Good. And then gather, bring those knees back together again and into your chest. We'll take a bit of a stretch here. So hugging onto the thighs, lengthening and reaching your tailbone down toward the floor. Feeling that long length of the spine, the easy fold and crease in the hips. Good. And then we'll place our hands on top of the knees and move into our stirs. So stirring those femur bones around, massage a circle into the mat with your low back, with the back of the pelvis. Around, letting the arms do all the work here. Legs are soft and easy. And then reverse directions, circling around a couple of times. Good. And then back to center. Before we do our twist, we'll do a few more little circles. So our knees are going to reach down, separate apart, and circle in. So we're just drawing circles. The toes are just staying together, but we're just circling in the hip joints there. See if you can do that with minimal rocking of the pelvis. So we're waking up that connection across the front of the pelvis here, feeling those abdominals. Just taking some easy circles. And then reverse directions, knees open out and circle around and together. And out and around and together. As small or as large as you feel able today. Good. And now then, legs into the chest, open, expand those arms all the way out to the side, nice and open and surrender. And now we'll take our spiral twist. Knees reach over to the left, head rolls over to the right. Breathing into that lower spine. Relax, release through the chest and shoulders. Good. On your next exhale, pull those abs in, bring the pelvis back to center, and we'll do that on the other side. Knees timber over to the right, head turns over to the left. And again, a nice few deep breaths here, releasing, relaxing as best you can. Good. And again, gather abdominals in, bring that pelvis back to center, and we'll move into our leg stretches here. Extend the left leg long toward the floor. Check in, make sure you feel long, even length through both sides of the waistline as you fold the right knee into your chest. Good. Let's take that thigh, turn it out, and now open it out to the sides. We're maybe feeling a little bit more of that inner thigh stretch. Be careful that the pelvis doesn't follow that twist now. Try to keep that left hip placed so you feel that oppositional stretch. Good. Gather that leg back to your center line. Let's take it with the opposite hand, left hand on the outside of that right knee, and now taking it again into a spiral twist as far as feels comfortable for you. You can spiral over. There you go. And then bringing it back to center. Good. From here, lengthen that right leg, extend it long, and feeling that hamstring stretch. To start us off here, sending those exhales down into those tight spots. Inviting that sense of lengthening as you breathe. Let's flex and fold, release, inhale. Exhale, send that heel back up to the ceiling, reach it back up, feeling that deeper calf stretch. And then point, maybe get a little closer in. We'll do that again, flex and fold, bending it in. Nice and easy here. Exhale as you're ready. Extend the heel, lengthen it back up. Good. And then pointing. Good. We'll take a little bonus stretch here. Open, turn out that leg. So you're going to feel that rotation in the hip. Take that leg, guide it open to the side. If you want, you can prop your elbow on the floor and guide that leg. Or just hold on to your pant legs, whatever it takes. Feeling a little more inner thigh stretch. And then as you're ready, you zip up those abdominals, bring that leg back across. And now we'll take yet another twist, going across the leg, this time across the body with a long leg. Waking up that outer hip stretch. You can stay with your hips on the floor or continue to spiral over wherever you feel that stretch is best placed. Good. Again, gather the leg back to center, feeling evenly long through both sides of the waistline. Take one more gentle stretch in your parallel, maybe feeling a little bit more range available. Then we'll soften the knee, lower the leg, and go into our circle stirs. Inhale across the body. Exhale, circle down, around, and up. And again, inhale and exhale. Try to relax and soften those collarbones as you move. Inhale. Put all that effort in the low belly. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Circle around. Other side. Inhale. Open left leg, also reaching long on the floor. That's it. Inhale. Open and circle around. Two more times. Inhale and exhale. Stir. Last one here. Inhale and exhale. Stir, lengthen that leg and send it all the way down to the floor. And hopefully it feels quite a lot different than the other side. So let's try to even things out. Pull the left knee into your chest. Again, right leg stays long and heavy, weighted on the floor. Good. Then we'll open that thigh, turning it out, sending that left thigh open to the left, right hip stays on the floor. Good. Pull those low abdominals in, gather the leg back across, taking the right hand now on the outside of that left knee, and try that spiral twist across the body here. Good. And then abdominals retreat back in toward the mat, bringing yourself back to center. Now then elongate that left leg, wake up the hamstring. Take a hold of your leg wherever you can. Sending your deep exhales down into those tight spots. Good, and here we go. Flex the foot, bend the knee, holding everything in. Take a nice full inhale. Exhale, reach to that flex foot up to the ceiling, straightening the knee. And then point through the foot, get a little bit closer. And one more time here, flex and fold it in, relaxing the stretch. Exhale, lengthen, return into that lengthened out leg. Point the foot. Good. From here, we turn out the thigh. So rotate, opening, keeping that right hip in place. Open that left leg out to the side. Again, you can prop your elbow on the floor to support that leg. You can hold on to your pants. You can use a TheraBand on your foot if you had one. Breathe. And then send those abdominals inward. Gather the leg back up. Let's take it with the opposite hand. And let that leg cross over. Tends to be a little tighter with most folk. Again, if you're able, you can continue to spiral even further if that feels good. And then again, exhale, gather the abs in, bring the pelvis back to the floor. Take one more gentle stretch in parallel. And then slightly lowering the leg, softening the knee, arms at your sides, crossing the body line first, inhale, and exhale, circle one. And again, inhale and exhale two. Feeling that length through the body, out to the top of the head and down and out the long, heavy leg on the floor. Again, inhale and exhale. Let's reverse from 4. Inhale, open and circle, swing 1. And again, 2. And open, stirring in the bowl of the pelvis. One more time, open and down. Good. Reach that leg long, sit it all the way to the floor and relax. Just wag your legs in and out, releasing the hips, softening the thighs. Good. We're going to move into our roll-ups from here. So you can either keep the legs long or maybe take a slight bend of the knees, feet on the floor. We'll reach the arms up and overhead, finding that connection through the rib cage. So imagining that Pilates vest buttoned up here so your ribs aren't flailing, splayed open. We go, inhale, the arms come up. Smooth nod of the chin to chest, finding your chest fold, rolling yourself up. Once you come up, you can extend those legs long and find that fold over the waistline. Really pulling the abdominals away from your fingertips. Take a breath in. Exhale, descending, rolling back. Shoulders softening. And again, trying to roll right down your center line. All the way back down. We'll do this again. Inhale the arms up. And exhale. Working toward no momentum. Always an interesting goal to have. Have that reach wide across the upper back. Inhale. And exhale. Contract, sending it away. Shoulders drifting away from those ears. Unwind. All the way down. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale the arms up. And exhale. Healing yourself up. If you need to, you could use your hands along your legs. Let your fingers do the walking. Find that stretch. Inhale. Exhale, contract. Melting back down to the earth. Waking up those abdominals. Here we go. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. That's it. Nice. From here, open up your sitting bones and just take a forward fold over the legs. Breathe into that low back. Nice. Let's take our roll back down again. Contract and melt it down. Good. And unwind. Go ahead and bend the knees now, placing the feet on the mat. Surrender palms up, so we're rotated open through the shoulders. Feel that parallel placement of the thighs. We'll take a few bridges here. Inhale, exhale, scoop out the abdominals, rock the pelvis to peel the hips up off the floor. Feel the knees reaching up and over the feet. 1 long line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders. We'll inhale here, inhale, exhale, contract, and slowly roll your spine back down, curling through that low spine, feeling when you connect to the floor, unfurl into your easy resting position. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale and exhale, hollow out the abs, then pouring weight into the feet, feeling the backs of the legs activate. Try to keep that parallel alignment with the legs. Reaching the height of your bridge, feeling the abdominals still supporting you. Inhale and exhale. Sigh of relief, melting down, curving through that lower back and unwinding back down onto the floor. Let's try this again. Inhale and exhale. Scoop and roll it up. Reaching up. Now then, from here, we're going to keep the hips lifted, but we're just going to tip. So I'm dipping one hip down and then bringing it back up. And then I'm going to dip the other, like I'm just pouring my pelvis to one side and then bringing it back up. Try that again, a little rotation. Dipping one hip and then press, lift it back to return to center, other side. Dip and return. A little different glute work. Again, 1 more time each side. Dip and press it up. Lift and other side. Still wide across the upper back. And return. Take a breath in at the top of that bridge. Exhale, contract, roll yourself back down. Ooh, very good. Hug those knees into your chest. Good. Maybe stretch out those hamstrings 1 more time. Give yourself a little length for each leg. And we're going to move along into our coordination exercise. So we're in our little tucked position. We're going to find our chest fold. Exhale, curl yourself up. At the same time, coordinating, reaching through the arms and extending the legs. So we're going to play peekaboo, opening the thighs, peekaboo through the legs. And exhale, close. And now 1 leg at a time. Open 1 leg, trying not to fall over to the side. Hands are hovering off the floor. Close it. Other side, open. maybe just a small bit, it's okay. Close it, bend the knees, we get to rest the head back down on the floor. Try this again, exhale, coordinating chest fold and limbs extend to reach. Abs are zipped up, we open, inhale, and exhale, close. One leg opens, keeping that hip placed, and close it, other side, open, and close, bend the knees, return the head to the floor. Let's go 2 more times. Exhale, contract. You can make this more challenging by sending the legs further away from center. Open and close, and one leg at a time. That's it. Beautiful, and close, other side, keeping that scoop. And close, bend the knees, relax the head down. One more time. Exhale, coordinate it together. Reach. Inhale, both legs open. Exhale, close. One leg opens. And exhale, close. Quiver, quiver. Open the other leg. And exhale, close. Bend the knees. Relax your head down. Just take a little gentle roll with the head side to side. Soften the neck. Release any tension there. Good, good, good. From here, we're going to hold onto the legs, find that chest fold, and rock yourself up to a sitting position. And we'll go into our rolling series. So holding onto those ankles, you can cross your hands, slide those shoulders away from the ears, and really pull the abs in. So you're sending your belly button away from your thighs, making a rounded curve with your back. We maintain this curve, rolling only to our upper shoulders. Inhale, rock. Exhale, roll. Your abs are your brakes. Trying to find that precarious balance at the top. Again, inhale, rolling back. And exhale, rolling up, massaging the spine in the process. Again, 2 more. Inhale, rock. And exhale, roll. Soft, easy shoulders. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Very, very good. From here, open the knees apart. We'll take a nice hip stretch here. Rolling forward into that butterfly stretch. Curving. And breathing into the creases of the hips. Softening that low back. Good. And then rolling yourself back up to sit. We'll slide the hips back and extend the legs and move along into some more spinal stretches here. So if you can, flex the feet, sending the knees long. If this is difficult for you to have a vertical pelvis, you can bend your knees as long as you're stacked as tall as you can. We'll reach the arms out in front of ourselves. Take a breath in, filling the length of the spine. Exhale, folding at the middle, contract. And rounding over that imaginary basketball on your lap. Curving, 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 abdominals pulling backward. Inhale, stack the spine from the base of the spine, coming all the way tall, shoulders drifting. Good. We'll bend the elbows into that goalpost position, hands flat to the floor, and lift the heart, opening the chest, feeling that extension. And then return to center. Take a breath in. Exhale, deflate. Contracting forward, reaching with the fingertips in opposition to the core. Inhale, stack it back up. Exhale, elbows bend, long neckline. Pull those elbows back as you open the chest and arch, looking upward. And return to center. Exhale, 1 more time, deep breath in. Exhale, rolling forward. Stretching through the rib cage. Inhale, stack it up. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, heart sings and lifts up. And exhale, return, extending those arms, moving into our saw. The pelvis, the legs stay in place. We rotate from the waistline, wring out the torso. Exhale, reaching for that opposite ankle. Saw off your ankle with the pinky edge of your arm there. Reaching both hands away from each other. Good. Inhale, stack the spine, roll it back up. And exhale, unwind. The other side, rotation. Rib cage, moving 3-dimensionally. Exhale, fold and reach. Feel that deep shoulder stretch. Both sit bones still anchored into the floor. Inhale, roll yourself up. And exhale, nice elegant neckline. Keep that length. Again, rotation, inhale. And exhale, fold and lengthen away. Reach, reach. reach. Inhale, stack it back up. And untwist. Other side. Inhale, rotate. And exhale, hollowing and folding. Reach, reach, reach. Good. And inhale, bringing yourself back up. And exhale, unwind. Good. We can place the hands behind ourselves, just bending the knees again. So feeling wide and open across the shoulders and chest. This is just a little rotation work through the legs. So we're going to keep our hips placed and just let the knees fall to one side. See, at first we can do this without lifting one hip. So just letting the knees fall, bring it back to center, and then other side. And for me, my range is kind of limited in this way. You might go farther than I can. Bring it back to center. Do that again. Hips stay in place, just letting those femur bones find that different rotation. One opening, one closing. Bring it back to center. And again, rotate over. And bring it back. Now then, as you go toward the right, maybe your left hip lifts off. So now you're feeling a little different rotation, maybe some different stretch through the hip. Still opening through our shoulders and arms. Bring it back to center. Other side. Peeling it over, feeling one hip maybe lifting off. And then bringing back to center. Let's do that one more time each way. Rolling over. And abdominals can help bring your pelvis back. That's it. And other side. And return. Good. Let's flip over onto our bellies now. So finding your position on your front. Hands are by your shoulders. Legs are slightly open apart behind yourself. And we'll move into our spinal extension. So pushing that imaginary marble with your nose and watching it roll along the floor. Curious baby learning to crawl. Press into your hands, feel the shoulders still strong under the armpits, keeping that sense of length from ear to shoulder, long neckline. Abs are lifting to support that extension. Inhale and exhale, painting your eyes back down the wall, back down to the floor, back down to where you started on the mat. We'll try that again, reaching out. And back of the throat stays long and open. Pressing into the hands, opening the chest. Full stretch at the front of the body. Exhale, slowly rolling down through that length. Good. And again, reaching out. Pressing into the hands. Feel those collarbones wide and smiling. Good. Now from here, we're going to bend the right knee and turn your head to look over your left shoulder. And lengthen, return to center. Keep the abdominals supporting you. Other side, bend the left knee, turn your head to look right. And return. Slowly descend, roll it back down. We'll do that one more time. It's a good brain exercise too. Here we go, reaching in. Pressing into the hands, keep breathing. Have that sense of lift. This time, let's start with bending the left knee. Turn your head to the right. And return to center. Maybe feeling some of that quad stretch as you do that. Bend the right knee, look left. That's it. And return, inhale. Exhale, lower yourself back down to the floor. Very nice. Pushing up into our hands and knees position. If you need extra padding underneath your knees, you can do that here. We'll find that nice coffee table position, shoulders right over the hands and knees underneath the hips. Have that sense of lift through your low belly and heart floating high up away from the floor. Good. We'll try our alternating arm and leg extensions here. So keeping your axis long through head and tail. Glide and slide opposite fingers and toes. I'm reaching my right fingers and my left toes out along the floor. And then without spiraling, tipping, or changing that length of the spine, see if you can float those limbs a few inches off the floor. Keep that ab scooping, lifting connected. Bring the hands and feet back down and return to your coffee table position. So we're going for a seamless transition, other side. Glide and slide. Full aware that we're not perfectly symmetrical, but we're working on it. Reach and float, opposite arm and leg up. Bring it back down to the floor and returning back to center. So you might feel a difference side to side. Let's try this again. Reach and glide. And lengthen out. Keeping that energy out to the top of the head, neck is long. Reaching back down, hands and feet down to the floor and returning. And other side. Reach, slide and glide. And float and lift. Challenging our balance and our coordination. Hand and foot come back down and back to square. Curl into that lovely cat spine. Rounding and stretching. Let's take a moment here to shift our weight forward and back between our knees and to the hands, changing the angle of stretch as you do so. Good. And then come back to center, long spine. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, open that chest. If it feels good to do so, take that nice cow stretch, opening into that arch of the spine. Good, and then back to center. So now, keeping that support underneath you, we'll take our thread the needle. So we're gonna slide one arm out to the side into a tripod. So we're just airplaning one arm out. Now spiral everything, twisting from the rib cage, looking up, reaching, feel that stretch to the pectorals. Now then, hollow and cat as you thread the needle, diving that arm between the arm and the knee, reaching, perhaps letting the side of the head, the shoulder come toward the floor, deep stretch through the shoulder. Breathing here. Good, and then again, press up, lift your bum, find that three-legged tripod, find that airplane, arm out to the side, and then seamless transition, bring the hand back to the floor, other side, pouring weight into that support side, reaching and airplaning that other arm out, balancing there for breath, and now tip it over, spiral, lift your heart, reach to the sky. And then hollow the abs, contract, make that tunnel and thread the needle, reaching under and breathing into those yummy stretchy places here. That's it. Good. And then press into the hand that's on the floor, lift your heart, find that airplane arm out to the side and return it back to your square position. Contract into the cat one more time and then take that hinging back to sit towards your heels, finding your child's pose. Perhaps it feels good to you to reach the fingers as far forward as you can, letting the head come down toward the floor. If this is too much for you, you can always let your hands rest at your sides, softening. Breathe into the low back. Good, and then roll yourself back up. Good, we'll just do a little bit of leg work on our sides today with more focus on stretch today. So we'll find our little chair position. So knees are bent, hips and shoulders are stacked, and the knees and feet are together. Good, and we'll do a little bit of our wave work. So I want you to focus today on feeling the length of the waistline and the stability of the pelvis. So we're not going to be rolling back and forth with the pelvis. We're going to isolate this movement to the thighs rotating in and out. We start by lifting, rotating that knee open. So we're feeling that rotator work. Lift the foot now, larger range. Now closing, inwardly rotate, let the knee come back down, and then the foot comes back down. Okay, so we externally rotate, knee lift and foot lift. Closing now, inwardly rotating, knee down and foot down. Now then, try to smooth this wave-like action as best you can. Open, open, Abs are still with you. Close and close. Waistline staying long. Open, open, and close and close. Getting all that movement in the hip socket. Feeling how the femur bone moves in the joint. That's it. Couple more times. Open, open, and close and close. And again, open, open, and close and close. Now then, push to that leg and extend it long, flexing the foot. You can keep your bottom leg where it is. Now feeling the forward and back action of the hip. So we're folding forward, inhale, feel that hamstring stretch. Press it back and sweep it back, trying to keep from wanting to spill forward with your rib cage. Folding forward, inhale, and exhale, sweep it back. Try to keep that foot, knee, and hip on that same parallel line. Just skimming the horizontal surface. That's it, reaching back. Hinging and folding in the front of the hip. Pressing and extending, feeling the work in the back of the leg to reach the leg back. One more time, folding it forward. And big pendulum sweep. Good. Now then we're going to change. This leg is bent. The bottom leg now extends. We'll find our stretch position here. Stacking the hands, let the head rest. Take that front arm in, reach beyond your bottom hand. Open the book. Let your head roll on the floor. And enjoy that stretch. Surrendering, released across the chest. Breathing into that outer hip. And then reach and gather and close to come back. Good. Before we go to the other side, roll onto your back. Whichever leg was your top leg, we're going to go in for our pretzel stretch. So crossing that ankle over the thigh, and then gathering in for our pretzel stretch. You can gather either behind the back of the thigh there or on top of the shin. Opening up that top leg, maybe nudge it open with that elbow. Reach your tailbone down to the floor as you bring those thighs into your chest. Try to relax your head and shoulders on the mat. Sending those deep exhales where we worked. Maybe take a tiny little shift side to side. Good. And then we'll do one more bonus stretch. Unthread your arms. Take that top leg and cross it over even further. So the thighs are crossed high, high, high at the tops of the legs. Then grab a hold of your ankles or calves or pant legs. Pull the ankles outward and inward and still reach your tailbone down to the floor. And send your breaths down into those places. Again, if it feels good to do so, maybe take a tiny little shift side to side. Discovering other places of stretch. Good, and then unswizzle those legs. Just gather both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then we'll exhale, transition, roll yourself up, and we'll roll over to the other side. So starting in our little seated position, knees and feet stacked together, shoulders and hips are right on top of each other. And we're going to move into that wave. So again, organizing the leg, we lift the knee and lift the foot. Inwardly rotate, knee closing and foot closing. Do that again. Open and open. Keep breathing. Exhale, leg comes down and foot comes down. Smoothing it out now, trying to go smoothly, seamlessly, fluid wave-like action. Open, open, and close, close. My abdominals are still there for me, helping me to not rock off balance. Couple more times here. Open, open, and close, close. Relax top shoulder. Open, open, and close, close. Now with the flex foot, push and extend that leg straight out. We'll keep it flexed and work the hinge of the hip here, folding forward. Inhale, stretch the hamstring. Exhale, use them and stretch the front of the hip. Again, sweeping forward. If you need to, you can use this hand as a little kickstand to help you with your balance and control. And again, folding forward and press and sweep it back, just staying in parallel, big pendulum, folding forward and folding back. One more time, folding forward, inhale, and exhale, pressing it back. Good. Bring it back in, let that leg cross, extend your bottom leg, and then stack your hands, let your head rest toward the floor. And we'll take our open the book. Reach that top arm forward, let the shoulders open and roll. Stretching wide across the chest. Letting that top hip release. Good, and reach and gather, bring it back together again. And then we'll do our pretzel stretches here. So rolling back over onto your back, taking that action leg across, ankle crossed over that thigh. And then you can thread through and clasp the hands underneath the thigh, or a deeper stretch, I think, is hands clasped on top of the shin. And again, reaching your spine long, let the head rest on the floor, tailbone reaching downward as you're gathering the thighs inward toward the chest. Again, perhaps nudging that thigh open with your other elbow there. And we're maybe taking a little shift side to side. When you find a good spot, just stay there and send your deep breaths down into those places. Good. And then perhaps taking that top leg, crossing it over even further. So our thighs are crossed at the tops of the legs. Gathering those ankles, pull the legs outward and then inward, tailbone reaching down again. And again, perhaps a little gentle shift side to side. Easy does it. Good work. And then again, unwind the legs and just gather those knees into your chest for another little hug. Let's go in for a little happy baby stretch. So we're going to open the knees apart. Take a hold of the heels if you can grab your heels like you're a baby playing with your feet. Again, reach your tailbone down and pull the knees toward the floor. So I'm just kind of pulling downward. And maybe feeling that stretch into the inner thighs. And if that doesn't do it for you, you can just bring the toes together and take your little butterfly stretch this way. Good. From here, close your knees together. And one more time, rock yourself up to a sitting position. We'll move into a little mermaid stretch. So taking your legs into your little fourth position. And we'll do a reverse mermaid first. So we'll have this hand on the floor and reaching this arm up, lift. And we're going to lift the bottom rib cage and slide into a side curve. If you can, lower that elbow to the floor. Still letting this hip reach down. So you're feeling that extension like we started at the front of class today. From here, inhale, lengthen, reach this arm up, and maybe look up toward that hand. And as we did with our thread the needle, hollow the belly and spiral the rib cage. Maybe twisting and looking underneath that arm a little bit. Good. Return into your side bend stretch. Good. Inhale, lift this arm. Exhale, use the waistline strength to bring yourself back up. Now then, take a hold of that outer foot. Reach this other arm up. Lift and side bend the other direction. Oh, yes. Feel that stretch. Take the hand behind the head. Maybe peekaboo, look up at that elbow. And now folding in the middle, contract, bringing your elbow toward opposite knee, spiraling and stretching, abs hollowed up and in. Breathing into that back space. Good, return to your sideways fold and unfurl that arm, reach, reach, reach. And then bring yourself back up. We'll swizzle the legs around to the other side and do all that on the other side. So again, letting the hips settle down as best you can. This hand will reach to the floor. This arm reaches up. Inhale, lifting the bottom rib cage to slide into that side curve. Again, encouraging that top hip to reach and root downward. Good. From here, reaching up, looking up toward that hand. Inhale. Exhale, scoop the belly in, hollow and create a little tunnel. Twisting, wringing out that rib cage, stretching the shoulders. Good. Return to that sideways arc. Nice. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, use these obliques to bring yourself back up. Woo. And then holding onto that outer ankle, lift and reach upward. Side bending towards your feet, up and over. Good. Hand behind the head, looking up. Inhale. And fold, hollow the belly, contract and twist, elbow toward knee. Great. Return to your sideways bend. And extend that arm, reach, reach, reach. Good. And bring yourself back on up. Excellent. Let's come to our hands and knees position. We'll finish off with some nice hip flexor and calf stretches, reaching one foot back, follow the foot on the floor, pressing that heel away toward the floor, feeling that length of the knee, stretch of the calf, sole of the foot. Good. From here, let's transition, bringing our weight back over our hands. See if you can extend that back leg and float it up off the floor. Hip bone headlight still pointing down toward the floor. And then curl head to tail, or head, nose to knee, rounding through. Help yourself through. Maybe usher that foot between your hands. And then press the pelvis forward. Roll the shoulders back, opening elegant posture, feeling that deeper stretch into the front of that back leg. And you're welcome to either stay here or take this front leg and rotate it open and maybe get a little deeper stretch, hinging forward. Good. We'll help that leg come back to parallel. One more long, deep breath. And then press yourself backward. Flex that front foot and hinge, feeling a little bit more hamstring calf stretch here. Good. And then graceful transition to the other side. Other foot reaching back. Pressing that heel toward the floor. Lengthening the back of the knee. Pressing away off those hands. Breathing there. And then bring yourself back over your arms. Extend that back leg. Float it just a little bit. Keep feeling the low abdominals with you. And then curl nose to knee, rounding into that cat back. And make some space. Give yourself room. Give that foot a little reach forward. Press the pelvis forward and open the focus. Feeling that stretch into the front of that hip. Deep breaths here. And again, you're either welcome to stay here or open that thigh, turning it out and maybe hinging a little bit deeper into your stretch. Good, let's bring it back to parallel. Another breath or two here. And then press the pelvis back, flex that front foot, just reaching your chest forward toward that shin. Good. And from here, you could either stand up on your feet or have a seat, whatever works for you. And we'll take two nice deep breaths together. We'll stretch the arms, lift your heart, lift your spirits. Inhale and exhale, open. And we'll do that one more time. Lift and stretch. Hopefully feeling longer and taller and more energized for the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for joining me again. I'll see you next time.